And now here's another news blast from PEP Radio. In this year's election, a Republican political novice, unseated U.S. Senator Bob Casey, who has represented Pennsylvania for almost 2 decades. GOP candidates swept the statewide races for Attorney General, Auditor General, and Treasurer. And after rejecting former President Donald Trump in 2020, the Keystone State landed in the Republican nominees' column this time around. But the red wave that crashed over the Commonwealth stopped short of the Pennsylvania General Assembly. The partisan split remained exactly the same in the Senate, with the GOP unable to improve on its 6-seat advantage. Perhaps even more strikingly, Democrats were able to defend their one-vote majority in the House, winning back all 102 seats they'd held going into the election. And they did so despite a billionaire-financed GOP push to reclaim the chamber. Why did Democrats succeed in keeping the General Assembly but failed in national races? Successful House candidates say they set aside national politics in their campaigns and focus instead on everyday issues in their communities, such as car break-ins, rising prices, or a local proposal on immigrant resettlements. By contrast, some Democrats argue the state and national campaigns struggled to land on clear and compelling messages. All told, after the millions of dollars spent and months of strategizing about how to nudge the balance of power in Harrisburg, the various factions on either side fought their way to a standstill. Control over the Pennsylvania House came down to Cambria County. The GOP have long had their attention trained on the seat, held by Democratic Representative Frank Burns, not the one from MASH, who's been in office for more than 15 years despite the conservative makeup of his district. With Republicans prepared to spend hundreds of thousands against him, the Democrat had a challenging path to re-election. Nina LaCastro, chair of the Cambria County Democrats, said she recalls the attack ads starting all the way back in December 2022. But Burns is a political outlier in his caucus, splitting with his party over abortion, gun control, and discrimination protections for LGBTQ people. And he's shared some of his constituents' concerns about immigration, a topic that Trump and other Republicans have weaponized powerfully against Democrats. Outspending his GOP challenger more than 4 times over, he blanketed the airwaves with messaging on local controversies, such as a proposal to draw Afghan refugees to the Johnstown area. Several years ago, a civic group that had convened to revitalize Johnstown discussed resettling the refugees in the community and using immigrants in general to bolster the workforce in the shrinking community. Amid a local outcry about the plan, Burns emerged as a prominent critic and demanded public hearings on the issue, telling a local news outlet, "The people who live here should come first, not last." He also accused his Republican opponent, Amy Bradley, a former news anchor and head of the local Chamber of Commerce, of masterminding the secret proposal to bring refugees to Cambria County and withholding that information from Trump to earn an endorsement. Bradley has been involved in the Johnstown redevelopment effort, but has said Burns's attacks were false. So, how can you keep the PA House and Senate focused on issues that matter to the LGBTQ plus community? Call, write, email, or visit your local legislator. Tell them, even Frank Burns, to support issues important to the LGBTQ plus community. See the Pennsylvania Equality Project action page for details. Now back to more programming on PEP Radio.